All right, everybody, welcome in. How are you doing today? Between the full moon that we had just leading into today, last night was just spectacular here in the Northeast. And I spent a lot of time looking out the window at that full moon and thinking about what it meant for us. Um, and how full moons are about releasing or ending a cycle, right? Ending a cycle that started in May of this year, and April and into May. So you might want to look back at that time in your life and just see what was taking root. We're talking about Taurus now, right? And Taurus is about food and farming and planting because it's earth, obviously, but it's also about what we value, what we spend time doing, or what we spend time like tilling the soil, like how much we put effort, what do we put effort into? Okay. So that's happening. We have Uranus backing into Taurus tomorrow, or on the 7th, sorry, on the 7th. And that's going to be a monumental event. I'm going to talk about that today in Pathfinders, about how that has the power to shift or help us see the end of a longer cycle, a cycle that started in 2018. And what was going on for you in 2018 and what's happening now is the closing part of that cycle. So there may be it may be a spiral for you where there's a new beginning of that cycle, which is really what I'm seeing for myself. And then for some of you, it's a cycle that you don't want to put any more time or effort into. Don't want to till that soil anymore. You might want to grow. You might want to move in other directions. The Uranus going back into Taurus is something that could surprise you. There is something that could surprise you, or this could just be a very like a stroke of genius kind of thing. Because Uranus is, what's your genius? All right, let's hear what the ancestors have to say today. Message coming through about knowledge for the divine feminine, good fortune here, friendship as well. And then we have the shift that's occurring right now, growth. Oh, yes. Affluence. And I feel like this can be about money. We've been talking a lot about that this week in the morning messages, about the change in what we find valuable. And since we're moving from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, there may be a heavier sort of emphasis on what's good for the collective versus what's good for the individual. And I think you're going to see that what's good for the individual, if it's not good for the collective, is just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So you could start a business and say, well, I want to do this kind of work, but is it what's needed? Is it what helping? Is it fulfilling some kind of hope or drive or need or something for other people, right? If it's not needed, then it's not going anywhere. So right now, let's take a look at that. Wow, Ace of Cups, and here's the Empress. This is a divine feminine reading for sure from the ancestors. Wow, the Sun, the Knight of Pentacles. Talk about tilling the soil. This Knight of Pentacles is Virgo energy, and that's about systems that we use to create health and well-being, to create happiness. Queen of Cups, and then this, wow, look at that. Four of Wands energy. Celebration, and the Sun is celebration too. So there definitely seems to be some kind of shift here that for some of you, you may stop resisting something. You may stop holding on, hugging on to tradition, and instead moving more into your own authenticity. I've been talking quite a bit about that this week. We are making some kind of big shift into more authenticity. So the story that you believe about who you are, if that changed in 2018, like it did for me, then there may be another version of that, or there may just be like, okay, that's a foundation and now I'm building on that, right? Like, how's it been going? How's it been going? Has it worked for you or hasn't it worked for you? Because If you're doing something that's very transactional, you're going to get blasts of dopamine, right? But what happens after dopamine is you crash. If you're doing something that is supportive of your long-term self-concept, then you're getting more of the oxytocin, more of the kind of hormones that are sustainable, right? That want you to bring closer to what you're doing, that want you to be more of who you are. And if you're being somebody else, then dopamine is the only option. Because to go, you won't be getting oxytocin unless you're really aligned with who you truly are. Okay? The fake persona, and I don't mean to make it sound so harsh because all of us do it. Like, we're raised to believe certain things and we create a persona of who we are in the world. And then if that's really not aligned with your soul mission or your soul purpose, then dopamine's the only thing you're going to get, like hits here and there. That's why money ceases to be satisfying if you're not really doing or being who you truly are. Only when you're being truly who you are will that just be sustainable. That will be the energy of home. Okay, because I am being myself. I am truly being myself. I've let go of that persona. 4 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, the King of Swords, Hierophant, Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, Page of Swords. That might be one of the things. 8 of Swords, yeah. And the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, now stick with me here because it's like sometimes we have to offload an identity because here's Taurus, all right? And the feminine energy here of Queen of Pentacles is also Taurus. So this is more Capricorn energy, that 10 of Pentacles. But this does feel a little bit like you have to let go of a thing that you thought was nurturing and keeping you safe, especially if you were only getting dopamine hits where you crash, right? Like, it's good, and then there's emptiness or longing, or I don't know. That's why a lot of people are sort of walking around like, I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't know why I'm here. You know, I've created this life and I'm married to this person and I have this kind of career path and everything, but it seems meaningless. And if that's the case, then there's an identity that's inside you, your true you, that's not being let out because it doesn't fit the mold of what your expectations are or what you expect or what your family expects or something like that. And then the only option for happiness is dopamine. So shopping, making money, it's like it's never enough. It's got to be more in order to keep that engine going. But when you're your true self, you don't need any of that stuff. It's not the thing. All of those things can happen when you're being your true self because they just naturally gravitate to you. But you realize that that's not the thing. That's not the thing that is the true happiness. The true happiness is the ability to transform and remember who you truly are before society got a hold of you. Right? Because that's what we're here to do. That's what the spiritual path is all about, is remembering who we are. And that is truly the ultimate riches. That's why they say they're talking about manifestation in the future as like things just appear, right? Because you're so aligned that you don't need anything. That's why. We only need stuff when we're either trying to cover up pain or we're trying to like make ourselves happy. And so I'm going to buy one more pair of shoes. I'm going to do one more thing that is outside of myself. And I figured this out in 2018, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. This was a very pivotal time in my life. I've studied the astrology of it. It's very interesting. It's interesting for you to do that too. If there are moments in time when you have completely pivoted your life, or it seems like there was a very challenging thing, for you to go back and look at the astrology of those times. Maybe you can pull out some nuggets of wisdom as to the real you that is trying to come to the fore. And that's when the real me, I had to let my old identity slide into the ocean. even though it was just, I mean, it was really just a few clicks off of really where I am now. But maybe other people think it's like a major shift, but I can see how I was like nibbling around the edges of who I truly was. But I was definitely taught that I needed to be behind the scenes or I needed to be small in order to stay safe. And so you can unpack that sentence about like, what does safety even mean? Or, from what, right? What are we staying safe from? And I realized through that, when I was growing up, through the whole of my life, the thing that would always be sort of bringing me back to my core self, where I really felt true happiness and joy, even when everything that was outside of me was kind of going crazy or collapsing or whatever, was to learn stuff. I mean, I truly am living the life of knowledge is power, right? I'm truly feeling like that. And it is my power. It's the juice that keeps me flowing every single day. When I feel lost or unmoored, I go learn something. I love to learn. I love to go deeper into astrology and it's spiritual topics. It's always about that. And I just go deeper and I feel sustained by that. I feel fulfilled by that. The good fortune and affluence then flows to it because that's the feeling I'm having inside. I love learning stuff and then telling other people about it. I love, and it can come through a lot of different ways. I can be reading, I can be taking a class, I can be channeling, it can be coming directly from spirit, or spirit can put it in my path in the form of a teacher or of a book or of an aha moment when somebody says something to me. Like I really pay attention to all of that stuff. And yesterday, like spirit was on fire yesterday because I kept getting those moments of like, oh, I get it. Right? Like, oh, this is why I'm here. Oh, I was here for this purpose. And I can really see all of how the chess pieces are working. And that doesn't happen every single day. I don't feel like I'm as present every single day to see those things. But yesterday was a meaningful day. The full moon was a meaningful day. What do you want to put your time and attention to, Taurus? And what has no value for you? Let it slide into the ocean. What has no value? And I feel like some of you are going to have to let something slide into the ocean. I mean, that's my phrase for it, but you can put whatever works for you. Maybe it's because I live near the ocean, but like, just let it go. Not going to put any more time and attention to this relationship, this job, this path in general. When you let go of the identity you've created in order to fit in with society or stay small or stay safe or whatever it is, very Taurian kind of experiences, when you let that go, then like the you can sort of, it almost like unfold. It's like those inflatable costumes when it starts, you're just like the dancing hippo from Fantasia. You're like, and then the air comes in and you're like, That's what happens. That's your soul, right? That's your soul. So there's some clarity here around spending some time healing. Ancestors are asking that what is worthy of you walking away from? It's not bad. Like the Eight of Cups, these cups aren't broken and shattered and all over the place. The cups are still, okay, it's fine. Fine. But it's not you. It's not for you. And it's fine only some of the time. So I'm getting some clarity around that with that King of Swords. The Taurus energy here of the Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant says, well, maybe some kind of structures that I have built to keep myself safe are actively weighing on me. I'm almost seeing this card as like the 10 of Wands, right? Oppression. Like, this is not sustainable to me. Why is, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles here. It's more of the message is coming through that it's a mindset that needs to be cleared. It's not necessarily like, oh, I'm going to run out and quit my job and then like something's going to just show up. It really is about recognizing the identity you've created, which may only be a couple clicks off of who you truly are. And that might be confusing. Because it's like, why isn't this working? And I had the same reaction. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be in communications. I have a North Node in Gemini. I'm supposed to be sharing knowledge, sharing information. So I was in the TV news world, and I was, teaching people to be on video and things like that, but it wasn't working for me. It was exhausting. And I realized there were some unhealthy patterns underneath there that I was trying to give other people what I myself wanted. And once I shifted that energy and I recognized that me learning stuff and telling people stuff and me turning all of the wisdom that I had gleaned from those careers on myself, I could let something slide into the ocean. I could let go of that old identity. Anything more about this Five of Pentacles? You can let go of the old identity. Knight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Two of Cups. So there's something here about not doing it fast, even though like there's more worry about it going away quickly than it going away. Or no, that's backwards. Spirit is saying, like, the minute you shift this, it's going to, whatever this is, this Hierophant and this Queen of Pentacles, maybe it's a marriage, maybe it's a career path. It's like you're afraid of it going away because you don't know what's on the other side of it. There's something that's more authentic and more real. What you're really needing to shift is your mindset about it. So you don't quit that job, don't get a divorce, don't do those things first before you get clarity about what's the thing that's the true you. What's the soul sort of, coming alive about? What do you come alive about? And not in a dopamine way, right? Because if you're like, oh, well, I love baseball, I love watching baseball. Yeah, but then after I'm finished, Sunday night baseball or whatever, and I love the feeling of that, and it's very, feels very warm and homey and all that stuff. But then I kind of crash when the game is over, right? Like, it's not something that's sustainable for me. Many, many years after the World Series is over, I would just crash, right? So it's like a dopamine hit. It's like a dopamine high of like another game and another playoff and all this kind of stuff. And then I would kind of crash. But I learned that what really brings me alive is if I feel bad or out of sorts or unmoored, I go and learn something. I go take a class or whatever. And then it's like my soul comes alive. So what is it for you? Because it really has to do with a mindset first. You really needed to pay attention to that. How much I till the soil around my happiness is what's going to bring in this joy. And I'm seeing here the Two of Cups. I'm seeing the Sun. This is the happiest card in the deck. What brings in joy for you? Okay, so let's keep going. I want to get you some more advice on this. Let's see what we don't see coming. I'll talk more about the astrology as we're, looking into November and this early part of November. And then there's something happening later in November that you're really going to want to pay attention to. All right, so link is below if you want to continue on with me, if this is your reading. Thank you, ancestors. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.